So here's the agenda I'd like to cover. First, I'd like to discuss Kyoto University of Advanced Science in numbers for the general introduction, and followed by Dr. Prevost, who is going to talk about their bioenvironmental science programs with its unique features. And followed by Dr. Haghirian, who is going to talk about the exciting management program at KUAS with her insight into Japanese management. And I'd like to also talk about the fees and the scholarships at KUAS and application procedures. And at the end of the session, we're going to take questions from the floor using the chat box. And so you can save your question until the end of the session, at the end of the Q&A session. Okay. And during the presentations, we don't during our presentation, we don't take questions from the floor. And once again, please note that you can save your question until the end of the session, at the Q&A session. Okay. Okay, general introduction of the Kyoto University of Advanced Science. It was founded in 1969. It's been operating in Kyoto University of Advanced Science, for more than 50 years in Kyoto. And because of that successful operational history, any degree that you earn with us at KUS can be converted back to any institutions in your home country, in the UK, US, in Germany, and Australia, anywhere in the world, because the KUS degrees are internationally recognized. And the KUS has 3,600 students. And when it comes to international students numbers, we are so proud to inform you that KUS Engineering School alone reached 300, close to 400 international students coming from 40 different countries. So that helps, that makes our students' population and our campus culturally and socially really diverse. Good news is all KUS international programs are conducted in 100% in English, meaning that as long as you are fluent in English language, you'll be eligible to apply for a program with no concerns about your current Japanese language proficiency. And today, we are so excited to introduce our two newly developed and launched programs in the fields of bioenvironmental science and economics and business administration. Okay. Since you are considering coming to Japan for your college education, you may be concerned about learning Japanese. I have good news. If you are admitted and enrolled on any of our international programs, you can learn Japanese language intensively for over 2 years. And that is a part of a regular curriculum for your regular academic major. So in that sense, that you should be fluent even before graduation in the Japanese language. That helps you really instrumental, effective when it comes to a job application for Japanese companies, which are still predominantly Japanese speaking environment. Okay. So I understand that many of you are concerned about job placement rate in general, also with the KUS specifically. If you take a look at the number rate job placement with KUS here, we are so proud to share with you that KUS has reached 98.2% job placement rate for the most recent graduate. Okay, now please join me in welcoming our distinguished professors First speaker is a Dr. Prevost, and he is an associate professor at KUAS and specializing in bioenvironmental sciences and immune system research with a background in biochemistry and pharmacology from top universities in France and the US. He also teaches biomedical research and seminars and scientific communication to students. Dr. Prevost, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'll just upload my slides. Oops, what's this? I apologize. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I will tell you about our faculty, our two departments, the Department of Environmental and Bioresource Sciences and the Department of Applied Biological Sciences. As we know, we are located in Kyoto. We have two campuses, and our university, our faculty is located in Kameoka, which is in Western Kyoto. And you can see our very lovely campus. So, two departments. The Department of Environmental and Bioresource Sciences has many research themes, such as environmental education, vegetable breeding, aquatic ecology, bioresource utilization, field crop science, landscape ecology, environmental management, and many more. Our second department, which is the Department of Applied Biological Sciences, also deals with a number of themes, such as bioorganic chemistry, plant biotechnology, molecular biology, fermentation and brewing sciences, and a number of others. I'm just not going to keep on listing them. So this is the core of our faculty. And now a couple of words from our dean, Professor Mimura. Basically, we live in a changing world with bioenvironmental destruction, global warming, food shortage. And those are problems we would like to help you solve. And we want to do that by teaching you about the environment, agriculture, food, and life science. So the curriculum, the first 2 years, it's a common course for both departments. It's taught exclusively in English, and you have faculty courses, electives. The only exception in second year, you have one specialized course for this department. The third year is taught in English and in Japanese. And this time we are dealing with advanced and specialized courses for each department. The fourth year, same thing, but on top of that, you're going to perform actual research, scientific research. So let me tell you a little bit about that. There is a philosophy. So ecosystems consist of complex interrelationships. So the issues we are having currently with our planet will require a multidimensional perspective and multidisciplinary approach. That's something we're very specific about. So it's very important for us that our students are not locked in a one-sided graduation research, but instead we help them develop an international network, if you will, with outside academics, collaboration, and also with the industry. So the research project, when you reach your third year, you will be able to choose a laboratory among the 31 faculties we have. And that's the place where you'll be doing your research. As soon as you start, you'll be able to collaborate with any department and faculties, for example, engineering department or any other faculty in both campuses. You'll have access to research groups from other partner institutions in America, in Asia, or in Japan. And we have also a number of partner companies, and those are 3 examples. The research and training facilities in Kameoka, we have the bioenvironmental building where most of our laboratories are located, computer laboratory, training, research laboratories, which are extremely well equipped. This is part of the food development center, which is much, much bigger than that. We have traditional and autonomous greenhouses This one was just built last year and it's state of the art. It's extremely impressive facility. We have a fermentation and brewery facility, our biopond, agricultural fields, and an experimental forest, all of them located on our campus. And I will introduce you to our faculty because that's the best way for you to understand what kind of research we conduct in the university. And then you will see we are international and multidisciplinary. So I will start with our dean, Professor Mimura, which is a plant cell biology expert, and is especially interested in environmental response and adaptation. And he also deals with membrane biology and plant physiology. Professor Fuji is a soil science and plant nutrition expert with a project especially about Japanese tea cultivation and tea processing. And his main goal is try to take this industry, which is very fertilizer and chemical heavy, towards something more ecological. Professor Takase is a plant biotechnology expert. He deals mostly in plant microbe interactions. And his research subjects include soybean nodules, soil microbial engineering, and the mighty Matsutake mushroom. Professor Sato is a horticultural science expert, and this is somebody who can breed and grow any vegetables and teach his students how to do it. He's quite a remarkable man. Professor Prieto is a plant geneticist and specializes in plant development, hormone responses, and adaptation to environmental stress. Professor Funatsuki comes from the industry, and he is extremely knowledgeable in plant breeding, plant genetics, and crop physiology. Professor Hendo is a plant cell wall specialist with an emphasis on stress memory, nutrition, and how to use plants for renewable resources. Professor Hasaduzaman is a hydroponics and soilless culture specialist, and is constantly developing new protocols to improve on those methodologies. Professor Fuji is a wood science and technology expert, and she works in fields of biomass, biochar, bamboo, and sustainable resources in general. Professor Suzuki is a specialist in forest science, soil science, and area informatics, and practices something called slash and burn farming, which he teaches to students, which is a very traditional and interesting technique. Professor Ju comes from the world of environmental purification, biomass conversion, and hydrogen and methane fuels. And recently, her research has focused on the use of light to activate specific microorganisms to process waste. Professor Chan has a slightly different background. He deals in environmental rights, especially in Myanmar, and he's very interested at what's happening to tropical forests in terms of agriculture encroachment, and deals also in forest biomass and allometry research. Professor Niwa conducts field survey using drones, among other technologies, and is a landscape ecology and conservation ecology expert. He's highly involved in the local communities. Okay. All right. Professor Ito comes from the world of geophysics, and lately he's been very involved in something called physical theory, which I myself don't understand very well, but seems very interesting. Professor Bo deals in agricultural management and tourism, and she's extremely involved in the promotion of local agricultural lodging and sustainable development in agriculture in general. Professor Wong is a specialist in machine learning, statistical analysis, climate change, and hydrological modeling. Professor Onishi deals in animal ecology, wildlife conservation, and does a lot of work, community-based conservation, both in Japan and outside of Japan. Remarkable work. Professor Ohata is first and foremost an entomologist, but he deals in ecology, ethology, and one of his main focus right now is interspecific competition in butterflies. Professor Nagano is an expert in aquatic ecology. She performs surveys purifying DNA from the environment, identifying species by doing so. She researches phenotypic plasticity and plankton. Professor Takasawa comes from the world of biological oceanography and biogeochemistry, and lately has been involved in microplastic, nanoplastic pollution studies. Professor Hagishita is a microbiologist, very applied science, industrial and fermentation microbiology. So is Professor Iguchi, who is also a specialist of environmental microbiology. And one more person in our group also deals in microbiology. It's Professor Sakurama, who is also a specialist of enzyme chemistry and deals also in microplastics and nanoplastic research. Professor Yano is an expert in functional food science, nutritional biochemistry, and his research focuses on the identification of anti-cancer, anti-allergy, and anti-diabetes compounds. Professor Shiga is also a food engineering expert, and he works with local agricultural communities to develop processed food based on brand name vegetables. Professor Fujita, also from the world of food chemistry, has two main projects. One is to study the effect of blueberry leaf extract, on blood glucose and hypertension modulation. And he's also studying a cohort of local elderlies. Professor Shimizu is a chemist and deals in chemical ecology. His two main projects are the development of natural insect repellents and the development of new antimicrobial substances. Professor Verna is a hardcore synthetic organic chemist, and one of his main topic of research is the development of fluorescent probes for all sorts of applications. Professor Hoseki is a cell biologist, molecular biologist, biochemist, who studies molecular mechanism related to lifestyle-related disease. He also does protein engineering and studies pharmacology. Professor Oku is an autophagy specialist, a lipid dynamics researcher, and he also works in the field of yeast biotechnology. And finally, that guy. I study cancer, ecotoxicity, COVID-19, and pharmacovigilance. And just for information, this is a piece of plastic I've just removed from the heart of a fish from a local river. And this is a clot I found in one of the COVID-19 patients I'm studying. So in conclusion, our faculty as an international multidisciplinary group of researchers. We will teach you academics, we will teach you research, and help you develop an international domestic academic network and industry network as well. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your interest in our international program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prevost. Next, we would like to invite Dr. Haghirian to talk about the Japanese management, our business programs in general, also with our insight into a Japanese management.
Very good. Thank you very much.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to show you some slides. Here we go. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak today. I'm very excited about talking about our new programs. Sorry. I'm currently in Europe, and yesterday I actually visited our partner school in Austria, and I met all the students who are going to come to Japan next year and visit us in Kyoto to stay with us for half a year or a year. So this was very exciting. My name is Parissa. I'm from Austria originally, and I have been in Japan for very many years, for over 20 years. I have a training in Japanese studies from the University of Vienna, and also a business degree from the business school in Vienna, and I'm specialized in Japanese management and comparisons between management styles in Japan and mainly Europe. And what I also do is marketing, because I'm a marketing PhD and I also teach marketing. My main focus is looking at cultural differences between Japanese and non-Japanese management. And I think this is a really exciting topic. In fact, I've been doing this for over 25 years now, and I'm really, really, really still excited about it. And I'm really looking forward to teaching more about this at KUAS next year. In fact, I would like to talk a little bit about the business curriculum and the idea of KUAS, and that's actually really exciting. I've been teaching in Japan for really very many years at many schools. However, there is no program that is in a business program fully in English in Japan. There are a number of programs that have courses in English, but generally there is only the program at KUAS, an undergraduate program that is fully focusing on business. And I'm really very happy about this because I think there is a real need to teach more business in English in Japan and also teach about Japanese management to foreign students in Japan, because Japanese management is a really interesting and inspiring topic. However, the overall idea is to have a global attitude and develop into a global leadership or leader after studying in Japan and learning about various management styles. Another thing that I really like about KUAS is that the campus is extremely new. So everything we see there is state of the art. I'm in a different campus than Professor Prevost. I'm in Usumasa, which is in the city. I was very excited now to hear that you have all kinds of really interesting facilities in your campus too. I didn't know we had greenhouses and ponds and forests and everything. However, our new campus in Usumasa is really very nice. It's a very beautiful place and has a very, very nice place to hang out for the students. But all the facilities are very new and it's really a pleasure to work there. And I think the students enjoy it very much as well. On top of that, we are in Kyoto. I've just moved to Kyoto from Tokyo last month. And I really have to say, I'm very excited about this. Kyoto is a wonderful place. It's not only a very cultural place, an industrial place, but it's also a very, very beautiful place to live. And especially if you're from overseas, I think starting your life in Japan in Kyoto is one of the best ideas you can have. So let's look at the program. Basically, the idea is to develop international leaders in Japan, and we are trying to focus on strategy, marketing, and economics. Most economics and business programs are divided into an economics part and business part. In our case, this is the same. However, we are a little bit different because, first of all, we have a focus on comparing Japan with the outside world, which is very interesting for Japanese students and at the same time very interesting for foreign students. And one more thing that I think is really important, and that is very unique in Japan. So far, I haven't seen this in any other university, is an internship program. So all our students who are studying full time are supposed to do an internship in a Japanese company doing their degree. That's part of the curriculum, so they have to do it and they get credits for it. And one thing that is very special about KUAS as well is that the company is actually very strongly connected to one of the biggest Japanese organizations or companies called NIDEC or Nihon Densan. And the founder of NIDEC is a very famous or one of the most famous Japanese entrepreneurs, and he is the chairman of the university and the president, sorry. And he has, of course, very, very excellent connections to industry. So the university is really well connected to places where students can do very, very interesting and inspiring internships. I've always been a fan of internships because where I come from in Austria, this is really very common. In Japan, it is not yet this popular. So I think it's a really great opportunity to involve in Japanese management, in Japanese companies, and in the Japanese economy, even if you're not Japanese. And as I said before, the curriculum is very new. The university has built a new facility outside in front of the university. It's called Future Center. This is also a place where people have very special classes, usually MBA classes on top or after their business and undergraduate degrees. And this is also a place where the very innovative curriculum is taken care of. So here you can see an overview on the program. The core focus is, of course, this part. At the beginning or while you're studying, you can take additional classes in Japanese language, which is something that is compulsory too. And I strongly advise everybody to do that because while you're living in Japan, learning Japanese is definitely a good idea, even though it's not this easy. And then also there's a broad liberal arts program. That means that you can also indulge into all kinds of different types of classes, for example, culture-related classes, history classes, political science classes, and of course, the overall idea about business. So basically an introduction to business. The core, the second and the third year are these kind of classes. This is generally divided into business administration and economics. Economics talks about the whole economy, the whole country. How is the country trading with other countries? How do all trends in a country develop and change? And business administration, this is why I teach, is inside the company. So what do people do inside a firm? How do they develop strategies? How do they sell? How do they do business? And here we can see that strategy is a main focus. And of course, finance. Of course, businesses need to know about money. That's one of the main topics in a business in general. And of course, how to sell. So that's why I come in. I teach marketing, introduction to business in our program here. And I'm also trying to bring in a very Japanese perspective, since we're in Japan. And for many students, especially students who come from outside, they have a lot of interest in learning about Japanese management and finding out how it works. At the end, or the final part of the program, is very specialized. You can see here you have to do one very big project. It's a research project to finalize your degree. And then there are very specific seminars on various topics. And as I said before, the internship program that is usually in cooperation with very big Japanese companies in the Kansai area. And that is, of course, really one thing that I personally feel very, very happy about. And I also think this is one of the best parts of studying at KUAS. So what will you gain when you study with us? Basically, the idea is that you study in Japan, you learn about Japan, Japanese companies, Japanese management, and of course, the other way around. In Japan, finding a job is, of course, a topic for very many people who come to study to Japan. This is highly supported by our school as well. As I said, the relationships with big corporations are really very strong, much stronger than for many other universities. And you can actually feel this in the offerings that we give in terms of internship and also in support in finding jobs after graduation. And it's a very cross-cultural environment. People are from all over the world. The campus is brand new, and it's a very special atmosphere to interact there and learn about various things. I am not Japanese, as you can see, but I have been teaching very many years in Japan at very many places. And before that, I was teaching many years in Europe. I still do. As I said yesterday, I was at our partner school in Austria, and I was teaching graduate and undergraduate students in Japanese management for the whole day, and I really enjoyed that. Try to be a very interactive teacher. So we have a very modern teaching styles. We have discussions, we do exercises, role plays. And I also try to take students out of campus to bring them to companies, do little excursions, meet business people, help them to create a very good understanding of Japanese management and international business, and at the same time encourage them to ask the right questions and investigate things on their own. So yes, here we have another idea about, here you can see the future center that the university just built. This is a part of the campus. The campus is really beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of places to have coffee, to sit and meet people. In the summer, the campus is full of people relaxing on the ground. And I really like that. I think this is a really beautiful place to be. And of course, as I said, the program is very international. One more thing that I would like to mention is some kind of mentorship that we are trying to give to students here, since the university is trying to attract more and more foreign students. They're really well taken care of, and there is a lot of emotional and also, I think, personal support in trying to learn about management. So, yeah, if you want to apply, I think Takeda-san and his team are the best people to talk to, and find out more, of course, on our homepage. And we really hope that we will see you in the near future at our campus. And yes, that was it from my side. Thank you very much, and I hope I will see you very soon at KUAS in Kyoto. Thank you very much. I'm a bit ahead of time, right?
Thank you very much, our Dr. Haghirian. Now, for the audience, I accidentally skipped her bios. Professor Parissa Haghirian, an expert in Japanese and international management, And she teaches not only at KUS, but also a top university in Tokyo. She also coaches top global managers for success by providing her new cross-cultural perspective and skills. Thank you very much, both professors, and I will then let's go. Okay. Okay. I hope you can see my slides clearly. And next, I'd like to cover the relevant information about the students' life, application procedure, and tuition fees. So I can walk you through all the relevant information with KUS. So a lot of students parents are concerned about international dormitories. So here is the good news. KUS are running 5 international dormitories specifically for international students, like you see here. And this is one of our beautiful international dormitory, which is the Uzumasa A, and beautiful, clean, and hygienic. Not only that, if you take a look at the the information provided on the top left, you may be surprised to see the really affordable to our international dormitory cost, which is only $420 per month, even including the 2 meals provided by the university on weekdays. And if you compare this dormitory fees to international dormitory standards, yeah, I would say that this is one of the most affordable dormitory fees. And the fees and the scholarships. And if you to make a longer story short, if you take a look at the last row from the right, and you see very affordable tuitions with both in our 2 departments that we are discussing today specifically. Bioenvironmental Sciences for our year tuition, it'd be around $10,000 per year. And whereas Economics and Business Administration program, it would be $8,000 with our current exchange rate. And this is also I should emphasize that these are very competitive tuition levels. And if you take a look at the other tuitions in other countries for the same department and tuition costs. And the cost of living in Kyoto is also very competitive. I mean, very affordable. If you take a look at the chart on the right-hand side, and monthly, including accommodation, food, personal expenses like travel expenses, in total, it'd be around $730 per month, including accommodations. That really makes living and studying at KUS really cost effective if you when compared to other nations, other countries, and for the cost of living in monthly. Okay, let me proceed. I understand that many of you here today are concerned about the scholarships with KUS. Yes, we are so proud to inform you that KUS provide great scholarship programs to the highly qualified, academically highly qualified students, and on the merit-based operations. It may come in the form of a tuition reduction by 50% or 100%. It depends on the academic credentials. Students, as you can see here, scholarship applicants will be evaluated based on their submitted documents. We take holistic reviewing process to understand the individual to make our decisions for scholarship. It means that we take a look at your mark sheet, and in the mark sheet, transcripts, and the recommendation letter, quality of your academic essay, and if you are invited, you are definitely will take a look at your performance, or on an online interview sitting with our professors. So we look at all these documentation, also interview performance to make a decision for scholarship. Unfortunately, please note that the KUAS and scholarship is not based on a need basis. Actually, merit basis only provides to highly qualified, academically qualified students only. To apply for this scholarship and our scholarship, you can find out more information about our scholarship programs, also how to apply for programs from our application guidelines. But to make a long story short, you can apply for these scholarships when you are, or while you're working on your application online at the same time. Yes. So how to, just let me explain, I'd like to explain how to apply KUAS. There are very easy steps. First steps, you need to gather all the necessary documents, including application essay and transcripts and everything, which I will touch upon shortly. And you can next steps, you can upload all the necessary document on our application portal site online. And if you are invited, if you're requested, you need to sit with our professors for an online interview, which is still part of the admission reviewing process. And then lastly, you can wait for your results to be announced on the designated day, and for both admission and scholarship. Here's a list of the prerequisites for each department. KUAS Bio, if you are interested in applying for KUAS Bio at high school or post higher secondary school, you need to study the biology or chemistry. And also you'll be be required to upload 2 different essays. And when it comes to standardized scores, it being optional, meaning that it's really up to you whether you send us your SAT scores, ACT scores, or other nationally or standardized administered test scores in other countries. Of course, if you are willing to take all these standardized test scores and send us the scores, and definitely we will take it into consideration. For KUAS business programs, in order to be eligible to apply for this program, you need to take the math at the 11th and 12th, and you'll be required to send us 1 essay. And when it comes to standardized scores, this program is also requires or is an optional. But again, if you are willing to take all these standardized scores, whether it's national levels or ACT levels, if you're willing to send us, I will definitely take it into consideration. So I understand. We found out so far, there are some countries who are countries where students are concerned about the eligibility when it comes to math requirements for our KUAS business programs. And I'd like to qualify saying that provided that applicants have studied mathematics up to at least the 10th grade, they should be eligible to apply for the business programs, even if they are currently studying a business commerce related subjects or chemistry or biology or physics. So if you have any further concerns about your eligibility in math for our KUAS business programs, please contact the KUAS admissions office by emails, as I introduce shortly. Right. Okay, here's a list of application documents, photograph, application essay, academics, transcripts in English, and a certificate of graduation expected, which is already formatted on our website. and one recommendation letter also. Okay. Here's the English language proficiency requirement. If you are not being educated and taught in English as a formal education, formal education or process, you need to send us your English proficiency test scores, either TOEFL, IBT, IELTS, PT, academic, or Duolingo. And if you don't have time to, let's say, go to take the test in IELTS with IELTS, or for the sake of time, I'd really highly recommend you to take the Duolingo, consider taking Duolingo, which is faster and more convenient or more affordable. Here, it's really important for you to understand the application time periods. Our regular entry will start on December 2nd and it closes on January 10th. That's our regular entry for our September 2025 intake. And if you miss out on a regular entry, you still have another chance to apply for the final entry, which starts on February 3rd, 2025, and it closes on March 7th, 2025. Okay, thank you very much. And if you want to know, or if you like to find out about another KUAS, I'd highly recommend you check out the KUAS website. And I'll pause here, and so that you can take a screenshot of this page and find out our website. Okay, and if you prefer to contact us by email, here is also an email address, admission@kus.ac.jp, admission@kus.ac.jp for email. Thank you very much for listening. I will now let the floor open to your questions. If you have any questions, please use the chat box to ask any question that you may have. Thank you very much. And please note that because of a limited time that we have for webinars today, and actually we're gonna need to close the webinar platform in 15 minutes. So we may apologize in advance. We may not be able to address all your questions today. And if we can't accommodate your questions today, please contact us with our email address later after the session. Thank you very much. So, what kind of question? Okay, Omoto-san, could you help us to which question we should address?
Sure, Takeda-san. So we got one question. How much field work is there in the Environmental and Bioresource Sciences course?
That's a great question. Dr. Prevost, could you take this? Would you be willing to take this question? Yes, absolutely. Well, it really depends on what you choose in terms of, because you have the options you have in terms of the type of classes you're going to take will vary greatly. But let's say on the third year, for example, it can go up probably to up to 10 hours a week. That would be the maximum you would do. In the fourth year, depending on the type of research you do, it can be something much more. You can have many more hours. You probably would do field work pretty much every year, depending on the type of research you decide to do, which professor you choose to work with. Right.
Can I say something too? I would like to say yes, as Nicolas has said, it depends on the professor. Not every class is the same, but of course there is a certain amount required of fieldwork in business as well. Kyoto is a business place. It's easy to get access to businesses, so there might be interviews or something that you have to do in a company, or write a report about your internship and something like this. So there is work to do, but not in every class, yeah, or mainly in the seminars. And again, it depends on who you work with.
Thank you for the answers and the professors.
This next question. There's one question I would like to ask both professors today. How do you find living in Kyoto advantageous to your students? And I ask this primarily inside of the higher living cost in Kyoto.
Dr. Haghirian, I'll let you go first.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I can say a lot about this because I've just lived 20 years in Tokyo, and I've been working in Tokyo at university as well. I have to say Tokyo is a lot more expensive than Kyoto. It starts with the rent of any room, also the dormitories. Another problem in Tokyo is the transport. Yeah, so you have to go to school, and it costs also a few dollars every day at least. And then again, personally, I have to say, I mean, apart from Kyoto being cheaper and being you are able to organize your way in a cheaper way. For example, you can go to school by bicycle. There's a lot more options to have cheaper food or something like that. The dormitory in KUAS also supports you with 2 meals a day, which I think is really very generous. Personally, I have to say what I like about Kyoto is that it's much easier to meet people and stay in contact. Yeah, Tokyo is a fantastic city, but to make friends, to stay in contact with friends, even at the school, is really not so easy. And in Kyoto, this is a much more social-oriented environment. It's a much closer community, and it's much easier to spend more time together. Even for people like me, I have a lot of friends in Tokyo, but in Tokyo, you have to arrange some meetings 3 weeks in advance. And in Kyoto, you can just say, hey, do you have time? Can we go for coffee or something like this? So personally, I would say it is cheaper. It's easier to navigate. Logistics is much easier. And it's a much more community-oriented place. It's much easier to make friends and stay in contact and spend more time together.
I will just add one thing, is that the Kameoka city, which is west of Kyoto, everything is very cheap. Everything is, can be reached by bicycle very quickly. So in terms of cost, as Professor Haghirian was saying, it's really good. And you have also access to a lot of fresh agricultural products for very, very cheap.
That would be a problem in Tokyo as well.
Thank you, professors. So what will be the next question?
So this is the next question. I think this is for Takeda-san. Can you tell again that how can I apply and get scholarships?
Okay, so thank you for the question, and I'd like to re-provide the same information that I already discussed. So to apply for scholarships, that you need to go to our application portal site that guides you to how to apply, understands how to apply our scholarships online. Okay. And also, when it comes to a criteria that we use to make a decision for scholarships, unlike some other countries, I understand that some other countries in universities always use the single criteria to make the decisions for scholarship, which is not the case with the KUAS, because we are a big believer of taking holistic reviewing process to understand each individual in depth, meaning that for us to make a decision for scholarship, we look at your quality or academic quality of your essay, and the recommendation letter and transcripts, and some other countries mark sheets, and some other countries education context, and also interview performance. And so we use all the documents that you submit to us, and So that's how we make the decision for scholarship.
Thank you very much. There's another question. Are there any specific IB requirements other than English for courses related to biologies?
IB requirements. Okay, I'll take that question. So when it comes to IB qualifications or as a criteria of eligibility to apply for our bio programs, we don't. Good news is that we don't have good news, and we don't set up any cutoff scores. And when it comes to IB scores, in terms of eligibility to apply for our bioenvironmental science program.
There's another question regarding the standardized test. Good afternoon, course admission officer. Is there any minimum score or requirement for the SAT?
Yeah, again, I have the good news. We don't set up, and we don't set any cut off scores in either in SAT or ICT or other national standardized test scores. So whatever scores, whatever test result that you may have, you should be eligible to apply for a program as long as you have studied in a prerequisite school, a prerequisite academic subject that I already discussed during my presentation.
Thank you very much. And another question for Nicolas, Dr. Nicolas Sensei. And I would like to know about the internship program and career opportunity in Faculty of Bioenvironmental Studies.
So yeah, we provide, of course, internships just like every other faculty in our university. We have domestic programs, both in academics and industry. We have international programs. Personally, I help out people who are trying to go to America because I spent 12 years over there. So yes, there's plenty of program to choose first, plenty of destination. We have people going to New Zealand, people going to Korea. Yes, South Korea. We have a partnership with one of the university. China, yes, we have quite a network for you to choose from.
Okay. There's a question about Japanese lessons. Can I take the Japanese lessons?
Yeah, sure. I'll take that question. Yes, I understand. I understand there's a concern about how to learn a Japanese language since you choose to come to Japan for your college education. So again, I have the good news. So if you are enrolled any one of our international programs, actually you'll be required to take Japanese language lessons intensively. That lasts over 2 years, and that is a part of the required curriculum for your regular academic major.
Thank you. And this is a question for the accommodation. How do we apply for the accommodation?
Okay, to apply for accommodation, actually, if you are admitted, and then also if you are make all the necessary payments and for admission fee, whether it's an admission fee and a tuition, half semester, and then you'll be invited, you'll be contacted by your international office to understand the application procedures for your accommodation international dormitories in the KUAS. Yeah, so we are so proud to have provided 100% accommodation, accommodating 100% request for international dormitory selection. So you are assured to be provided the accommodation that you choose along the way.
Thank you very much.
I would like to add something to the accommodation topic. In fact, if you are in other cities in Japan, accommodation is one of the biggest problems because it's so expensive to live in the cities, for example, in Tokyo and Osaka. So many dormitories are really far away, yeah, like half an hour or an hour by train. And in our case here, the dormitory is right there and there is meals included. So I agree with Takeda-san. It's actually a really very good deal. And that is one thing that you will not have to worry about. So I think that's a really great service of the university as well.
And thank you very much. Now we have
Bye.
to
See
say
you soon.
goodbye. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye,
You too.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.